this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can make these heart pops. Of course you could just make the hearts on its own, or you could use a skewer to put into the heart so that you can stand them up in a jar or in some flowers, whichever way you want to use them. You are going to need your selected yarn in whichever colour. I'm using Stylecraft Special DK and I'm going to use a 5mm hook. You could make the hook larger if you wanted to make your heart larger, or a smaller hook if you wanted to make a smaller heart. And of course you can change up your yarn as well. You would just have to use the corresponding hook. You are going to need some scissors and a darning needle. You will also need some stuffing to stuff your heart with. I've just used bits of an old pillow. So you want to start off your project by making your slip knot, and you can do this whichever way you prefer. You're then going to take your hook and insert, and you're going to start off by chaining 2. So it's yarn over and pull through, and yarn over and pull through. We're then going to be working into the second chain from the hook, and we're going to be doing 6 double crochet. So that's double crochet in the UK, single crochet in the US. So you want to insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 2 loops on the hook, and yarn over, pull through both loops on the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can just pull this thread out the way, and 6. And then what we're going to do is we're going to connect this up to make a circle. So you can see the first stitch that we've done here. You want to insert your hook underneath or into that first stitch, and it will look like you have 3 loops on the hook. And then you're going to grab the yarn and pull it through all of those loops on the hook to make a slip stitch. Now what we're going to do is work into the top of each of those stitches all the way round, and we're going to do 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, so we end up with 12 stitches in total. So remember, that's a UK term, this is single crochet in the US. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, so that's 1 and 2 into the first one, then into the next one, 3 and 4, next one, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So you'll be back to the beginning. You can put a stitch marker in if you want to, but because it's quite small rounds you should be okay just counting. So that's our second round. We're then actually going to work into the next round straight away. So you're going to start off in the next stitch along, and you're going to do a round of 12. So that's 1 double crochet in each stitch that we've just done from the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 and 12. Now what you should find at this point is that the work starts to curl, and that's what we want to happen. Usually at this point what I do is I insert my hook into the very center of the work and then grab that thread and pull it through so that this is actually on the inside. and you don't have to sew it in. So we're now going to go into our next row, which is exactly the same as what we've just done there. So it's 1 double crochet into each stitch, so we're doing another 12. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now what I'm going to do is just insert my hook into the next stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through for a slip stitch, and then grab the yarn and pull it through. Take my scissors and leave a long enough end to sew in and pull that out. And that is one side of your heart. What you're going to do now is rewind the video and do exactly the same thing, but on your next one do not tie off. So leave it on your 12th stitch and then meet me back once you've done. So now that you've finished your second one, you can then take your first one and we're going to start connecting these together. So what I would like you to do is have a look at the stitch, your last stitch of your first bump that you did, and then can you see that this is the last stitch and then you have a section where you tied off? Well, you want to insert your hook into that section and slip stitch those two pieces together. So connect and then pull on those so that you know it's nice and secure. That isn't going to class as a stitch. What you're going to do now is into the next section, so all the way round you're going to do 12 stitches around that first hump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So that should take you all the way round. If you find that you have another chain here, don't worry too much about that. I'll show you how to fix that in just a moment. But I would say at this point, what you want to do is, if I just put this out the way a moment, have a look at your last stitch just here and count your way backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you'll notice that you will have another extra chain. So what I'm going to get you to do is insert your hook into the next chain here and then insert your hook into the first chain here, and then you're going to grab the yarn and pull it through all of those, and that will just stop there being a gap in the very middle here. You're then going to go around this section and do 12 stitches. So that's 12 stitches, that's 24 stitches in that round. You might end up with an extra stitch here, but in your next round you're going to miss that stitch where we just pulled the heart together. So your next round is going to consist of another 24 stitches all the way round. So you're going to go ahead and Just count 1, and then this one here where it's connecting one side to the other, I'm just going to skip that just because it will have added to the round. And 12, and then we go 1, miss 1 because that's the one where we bridged the gap. If you feel you need to, you could skip 2 here. I'm just going to see where we are. I'm just going to miss 1. So for the next round, we're going to go from doing 24 stitches to 20. So you're going to do this on repeat all the way round. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 stitches, and then you're going to double crochet the next 2 together so that we're decreasing this round. So the way you do that is insert the hook, yarn over and pull through. Don't finish this off. You're going to insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3, and that's going to count as your 5th stitch. So continue all the way round doing the same thing. So this is the first lot of 5, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then double crochet 2 together until you get to 20 stitches. So I've now just finished that round, and after each round you should finish pretty much where the dip of the heart is. If you don't, just double crochet a couple of stitches together until you get to that section, and it shouldn't make too much of a difference. So what we're going to do now is decrease our heart or our round to 16. So here what we're going to do is double crochet into the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then double crochet the next 2 stitches together, and that makes 4 stitches. So pause the video and repeat that 3 more times, and I shall meet you back at the beginning. So I've just finished that round of 16. If you wanted to make your heart a little bit longer in length, you could go ahead and add another round of 16, just 1 double crochet in each stitch. If not, we're going to go ahead and decrease this round to 12. So we're just going to go into the next 2. So 1, 2, and then double crochet the next 2 together. And that will be 3, and go ahead and do that 4 more times, and I shall meet you back at the beginning. Once you've done that round, what you want to do is just pull your thread out, make that nice and long so none of your work comes undone, and you're just going to take your stuffing and start to stuff your heart, and you can do this as much as you want to. So make sure that it gets right into the top. And you can always add some more after your next round if you wanted to as well. And once you are happy with the amount of stuffing you have in there, you can insert your hook back again. So our last round consisted of 12 stitches, and this round is going to consist of 6 stitches. So what that means is we're going to double crochet 2 together all the way round. You might want to press your stuffing out the way as you're doing this because it can get a little bit more fiddly. So into the next space, yarn over and pull through, don't finish off that stitch, and go into your next one and go all the way through. So that will class as 1, and then again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and 6. So as I said, if you wanted to go ahead and stuff your heart anymore at this point, you can just pull out your thread and go ahead and put a little bit more in. Now that you've done that, you're simply going to decrease the round again by decreasing it to 3. So you're just going to double crochet 2 together 3 times. So 1, 2, and then 3. You might have to turn your work as you're doing this, just because sometimes it can get a little bit fiddly, as you can see. So 3. Now what you're going to do is yarn over and pull through. You're going to grab your scissors, snip off, and then pull out. You want to move the stuffing around in the heart so that it sits the way that you want it to. You might want to just pull down the base of the heart and just mould it slightly. Then what you're going to do is take a darning needle and sew in this bottom piece of thread. Don't pull on it too tightly though, because well, I'll show you what can happen. So if you pull it up, you're just pulling in the bottom of the heart. So if that does happen, just pull it back out, and then I'm going to snip off this last piece of yarn, and there you have your heart. And then if you want to make this into a little popsicle kind of thing, what you have to do is insert your skewer into your heart. Again, pull down the base just to keep its shape. And there you have your heart pops, or your heart popsicles. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with any of my latest videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely Valentine's Day, and I shall see you again next time. Bye!